Boom! Salutations. I wanted to, there are things that catch my attention sometimes, and they're worth exploring a little bit, researching, and just checking out. And this is one of those things, and I want to give much credit to somebody else that actually brought this to my attention. His name is Matt Delph, and I met Matt Delph at that Starseed Adventures conference. Or I'm sorry, the one in actually Georgia, last year. God, what was the name of that? Oh gosh, Starseed. Anyway, it's one of those deals. Anyway, Matt Delph is a paranormal investigator, and he goes out in the field quite a bit, and he's friends with Jessica Jones. And Matt and I hit it off immediately, okay? He's talking about some very real stuff, especially concerning Sasquatch, and some very interesting things, and we hit it off immediately, so got a lot of respect for him and enjoy working with him. So, something that he had brought to my attention, all right? And this is called bottled vampires. And mind you that I want to take this, it's not something I'd heard before, but I want to take this and maybe kind of transition that into something that is different, that I think may give it even more validity beyond just the natural vampire legend thing. All right, so this is what this vampire bottling consists of, is getting a bottle, okay? Well, let's start first of all. This deals with how do vampires go from being physical corporeal beings to being in the grave, when the grave is buried and inaccessible. So that's part of what this deals with, and what that deals with is the shape-shifting them into mist, all right? And them becoming a type of mist is how they actually move from the grave to the coffin and back. So that's absolutely imperative to know, and that when they're in that form of shape-shifting, they're vulnerable to this. The bottles, these vampire hunters were getting bottles and putting blood in the bottles and then inviting them into it when they're in mist form. And then they have to go in there, and they go in there and feed on the blood. And you know how it is, the demons manifest on the blood always. Then they cork it and throw it in like a holy fire, a fire that's blessed, and destroy it. So that's this vampire bottling. I found that very, very interesting in terms of correlating that to a video that I've done on this channel, probably, I don't know, maybe a year ago or so, maybe a little more, that is called the Midway Creatures. And the Midway Creatures involves this book, okay, the Urantia Book. And there's a section in there, I'll put pictures of that up that are actually from the, similar to the other video, but that other video's on the channel. I'll put a link to that also. And check out what are called the primary Midwayers and the secondary Midwayers. And what they're saying about these beings being non-corporeal, but they were born of beings that were partially corporeal, humanoid, with others that were other angelics and other non-physicals, and some of the non-physicals together, making unity on, or making offspring on this planet. That are some that I think the secondary Midwayers is what we would call the Jinn. More of the Jinn, and that takes us into, these Jinn or genies being trapped in bottles. This is something, or these, what do you call those little, nice little things, but it's the same thing more or less, I think I'll even flash a picture up here at the end of Barbara Eden and that show, I Dream of Genies, that's what that was, But ultimately, I think that this is similar to what I know about and, have learned and actually have seen done, which is the source, the men of the people of last cycle were really, really dark individuals, some could say, devilish, some of them, let's say, but they had perfected techniques that were designed to trap inorganic beings, like ones from the level of fluidity. The levels of fluidity, which I've talked about in another video that's on Patreon only. If you're a Patreon subscriber, check that one out. Scrying and the levels of fluidity. But they have ways of creating portals to bring those inorganic beings forward, or others that are from lower dimensions, and then feed them emotions, okay? Trap them here and then trap them into things that's like crystals and corn. And that's crystal magic, corn magic, and stuff like that. It's and other devices that are similar to orgone-like accumulators to actually trap these inorganic beings and then only release them when they release feeding them emotions. That's very old techniques. So anyway, there's something just to kind of keep that and cross-reference that what I just said with what goes on with this vampire legend of the bottling, because I think you're dealing with something quite similar when them going into this non-corporeal mist form, and how many of these inorganic beings and earthbound spirits, or more ghosts on the ghost level, that use the mist too and turn into this mist. So it's food for thought, all right? I want to thank Matt for bringing that to my attention. And something else I want to mention real quick before I get out is that I will be doing a conference from, I believe it's the 22nd of 25th of May in Grafton, Illinois, the Journey to Truth conference. So check that out. I'll put a flyer up, a picture of that up. Check it out. That's the best place to meet people and kind of interact a little bit, which I do enjoy quite a bit. So please check that out, and please subscribe. Press the bell, press the notifications thing also so you get notified when I put something up. Help me share this video. Help me beat this shadow ban, please. I love you on Patreon also. Thank you for being there for me. That's why this video is being made. Peace.